Howdy do. Like that. Nope. Orientation is locked. Gonna do. I am 3+Kei. I'm here to encourage you to pursue the smile by prioritizing the Lord, your physical health, and persistent education. And I am here with Ben. I apologize. I should have changed the orientation, but I didn't think about it. And we've got all sorts of shenanigans today. One of them is...
Hey, Poppy.
Hey, Poppy. It is Ben. It's the mod Ben. And we have ArtCakes. I did weigh in today. And I don't know... I don't know how this happened, but I weighed in at the weight that I wanted to weigh in at, not the weight that I thought I was going to weigh in at. So that's good news. Poppy says, "What's up, bro?" Okay.
Diabetes. That's what's
That
up.
it's true. It's true. So we have star confetti cupcakes, and then just your traditional chocolate with, I am salivating, with some sort of, I bet it's like a buttercream if I had to guess. So I will take your lead if you want one. Yeah. I haven't had this one yet. This is the star confetti art cake. And I apologize for the lighting. I actually kind of like it dark a little bit. So there's just like a light all the way over there and then a light over here that is normal. Poppy, how's your day going? Oh, and how's the baby? Also today, Ben brought, I didn't ask specifically, but the Aramaic.
It's kind of a mix. Some's Aramaic and some is Hebrew.
Okay.
Yeah, this one Hebrew, Greek, English, and this is the New Testament.
Okay.
And these three is the Old Testament.
I'm gonna look at it. I don't want to get
cake all over it.
I really don't. I want to be a good person. Is an art cake just a cupcake? Well, it depends on what you mean by just a cupcake. It is a fantastically delicious cupcake. It is so delicious that just the mention of an art cake makes me salivate. And I'm salivating rather heavily right now. So, she is sleeping. She's above her birth weight now. Good. How are you doing, Poppy? Post-pregnancy, how are you healing? I hope pretty well. I'll stop eating in a second. In a second. Not right now. So I'll tell you guys, tomorrow, I'm not sure where the live stream will be. It might be, there's like a rural area called Corvallis. So if you guys are new here, we're in Montana. And there's an area called the Bitterroot, which is just like a super rural area, very mountainous, very just beautiful. And Corvallis, I don't know how many people are actually in that town, but maybe
not a whole lot.
5?
I have no idea.
five, less than 10,000 people. And I would say maybe even like 5,000 people. Pappy says, it hurts a little, sometimes burns. I'm very itchy. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Corvallis is about 30 miles from where anyone who watched Yellowstone. About about 30 miles from where they film Yellowstone down the Bitterroot Valley.
Mm-hmm. Well, where do they film Yellowstone then?
Darby. So just beyond
Really?
Hamilton. Yep. As you go in Darby, right in town, that big ranch off to the right, that's the Dutton Ranch or whatever they call it.
Oh. Do you guys watch Yellowstone? Hi. I'm going to say Fong, only because I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I've never seen it. Oh, you're Vietnamese. Well, welcome, Fong. We're in Montana, like we were talking about. Poppy, where are you at? I feel like we talked about this way, way, way back in the day. Poppy says I've never seen it. I haven't seen it either. When you get to talking about, like, cowboys and I don't know how, any kind of, like, Americana type, you know what I mean? I kind of lose a little interest that way.
I watched the very first one. I was like, this is too phony. I'm not watching anymore.
So talk about that. What's the difference between what they show on TV and what Montana's like?
So you take the movie or the show, and if you imagine a bunch of Hollywood actors coming up to Montana and trying to act like Montanans, that's basically it. Yeah, it was like Montanans don't really dress like that, you know, but or act like that.
Yeah.
You know? And the first show, they I don't know, they did like a sex scene in the middle of the first. I was like, you know, I've had enough of this. They're using that to try to sell a program. I don't need to watch it. You know?
Right, just kind of salacious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was walking downtown, and our town has about 100,000 people in it, and it's a college town. But you can see the Yellowstone effect on Missoula itself. And one thing I really like about Missoula, and when I was writing my pros and cons list 3 years ago, coming from Tampa, of why I wanted to come back to Montana, one of the things was how relaxed your attire can be. Walking around, like I'm walking around in sweatpants and a t-shirt today, and it's not the most chic thing I could be wearing, but I'm not turning any heads necessarily. And I was thinking about this the other day. If I wore the exact same outfit I had on right now in a bigger city, I would look dang near homeless. I would look crazy, you know? And so one thing that's really special about Missoula and Montana in general is that we're just like super humble people, and not very flashy and this type of thing. So the Yellowstone effect has a lot of people coming from out of state coming here trying to fit into an aesthetic that they saw on TV. So yes, men do wear, if you go to church, for instance, you'll see anything from sweatpants to suits to men with cowboy hats, like with baseball caps, you'll just see the gamut. It runs the gamut. But not all men wear cowboy hats in Montana. And the men that do, I think
Probably not from Montana.
You know what I mean? And it's like when you do see it, they're not brand new. They don't have like a brand new kind of look to it.
Old ragged hat. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's really interesting. So I was walking downtown Missoula and I saw this. They were so cute. It was a cute young couple, but clearly not from here. And the first indication is that the man was wearing a shirt that was clearly like brand new and very nice fabric. And it was kind of cut. It was like, you see this part, I don't know what this is called, this part in the t-shirt, the collar of the t-shirt, that part was like cut out, but you could tell it was designed that way. And a Montana man definitely would not wear something like that. And then he had a cowboy hat on and just like the nicest boots. And he was just so cute. I mean that offensively. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, and his girl that was walking with him was just as like put together and tidy, and she also had like a belt buckle, and yeah, it's very much so like a Yellowstone. There's like a Montana aesthetic that people want to get into, but the real Montana aesthetic is probably your dusty.
Yeah. You got worn out ragged clothes.
Yeah, like that's the aesthetic. Poppy says she's from Philly, but she lives in New Mexico. I haven't been to New Mexico. I'm from Philly. I learned from my one friend that lives in Ann Arbor, Michigan, that Philadelphia or Pennsylvania and Michigan border each other. So there's that little bit of information that I didn't know. And Fong likes this content. Good. Poppy says, I'm in pajama pants, but I need loose pants. I bet. Did they? Tanjil says, I like cowboy hat, and I'm not from Texas. Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. You can wear your cowboy hat if you want to wear your cowboy hat. I'm saying it's as if, I went to California and started wearing Converse shoes. I started wearing Chucks because I'm in California. Because I see it's a thing that Californians do. So I wear Chucks. I'm not in California. I have 2 pairs of Chucks. And I like the Converse brand, but I like it because I like it. Kind of like you, Tanjil. If you like your cowboy hats, wear your cowboy hats for sure. That's what you should be doing. I just think it's silly when people come here and try to like fit into an aesthetic when really the behavior of Montanans is more like very friendly and very like open. So if you're gonna come here, I would say, they say go with the flow of traffic. If you come here, you should like go with the flow of traffic, which is like slower paced. But that's changing. Fong says, what's your name? I'm Lakeitha. I go by 3+Kei.
Benjamin.
That's Benjamin to you guys. And Allison's here. Hi, Allison. So we're here eating. We made it to our art cakes. I'll tell you this. I went to, there's a market run by the Mennonites, who are the sweetest girls in the world. We did not get you one. We could have, but I would have eaten it. So I got Ben some chocolate chip cream cheese bars and a sandwich. Actually got his sandwich. See, listen, Poppy. Poppy said she probably ate it. That is offensive, And so anyway, I got the chocolate chip cream cheese bars for Ben. And I got some raspberry cream cheese bars for Afton and a sandwich. So I sat and parked at a wilderness area and ate my sandwich because I'm a good person and I left everybody's sweets alone. But I'll tell you something, at some point my eyes drifted off into the pond where the ducks were, and somehow my hand drifted off into the bag and grabbed a hold of those raspberry cream cheese bars. I don't know how this happened. So I'm just having a little munchy munch. That's it. Just a little nibble, guys. Okay? And the next thing you know, I'm like halfway through the thing and my boss calls and I'm like, dang, her name is Jill. I was like, Jill, you really saved me because I bought my friend some treats and I was about to eat them up. But I'm going to finish this one and I'm going to put the other one back in the bag. So there, Poppy, I only ate one of them, not Not both of them. And Ben got his chocolate chip cream cheese bars. So that goes to show you, how that played out today. So Allison says, I'd be mad if those were my raspberry cream cheese bars. Well, I did make it over to Afton's house with the cream cheese, and she was like, you ate it, didn't you? I was like, I only ate one. Why can't I be acknowledged for the good that I do in the world?
You're looking out for her health.
I'm looking out. That's exactly how I feel in my heart. So, just so you guys know, that's what's wrong with the world today. And then we have our art cakes, which did make it. So, and then, excuse me. And Ben brought the Bibles that I've been wanting to look at. I really want to get into the Aramaic one. And then I have my Bible over here. And my fancy Bible will come somewhere between the 9th and the 25th. And I think I told you, I bought Afton a Bible too. In her favorite color. I'm going to just pray over that Bible. And then when the time is right, I feel like I'll know. Yeah. And we'll give her her very own Bible. And in the video yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw. Hi, Gladys. I don't know if you guys saw. I interviewed my friend Naomi last night, who is a LGBT advocate. And it was such a great conversation because, and it really like demonstrated what I'm trying to do with entering the chat when I'm talking to non-Christians and being able to, yeah, the stream, Poppy said that stream did not work for me. It's because number one, phone companies will tell you they're giving you unlimited data. That is not true. They will give you up to this amount of data. And because I do all these like gym and Jesus and food trucking and Jesus, I ran out of data a long time ago. So that was me trying to live stream. I'm out of data for the month or until the 11th or 12th or whatever. So sorry, that's why we're inside right now. I would prefer to be like in a park or something. But anyway, it was a good conversation because we both listened to one another. At one point, I kind of got a little fed up, not with her, but with us. And you'll see it when the video will air November 23rd. I got upset a little bit because she was talking about the LGBT community. And she was talking about how she is a straight white woman. And she came in and she was like, I just want to help. Or as they say, I just want to be an ally. And they were like, yeah, come on. And then now she runs whatever queer space that she's running. And when she said that, I like stopped the interview for a second and addressed the audience because, and was just saying like, we need to be doing that. Like the church, we need to be that. Somebody is curious. They're coming in. They want to fellowship in respect, right? In respect and out of, Ben gave me the language of Christ curious, which I will forever use now because I think that's brilliant. There are some people that are on the cusp of Christ. They're just on the cusp and they have some questions or they know someone who's like really nice and that's kind of how I started. It's like, what is that about you? It was a lady named Miss Tara. I was like, what is it? Like, you're like so calm. No, it's like you're so calm and so nice. Like, what is that about you? And I know now, these years later, that's the Holy Spirit. That's with Miss Tara. She actually had a very difficult life. And so anyway, it really frustrated me in this moment that my friend is having this experience of like acceptance and like all of any curiosity that she has is just met with love and joy. And it's like, yes, exactly. Let's be that. And to that point, I didn't mean to like plug the Secret Heart Club, but to that point, we never want to be people, just a side note, we never want to be people that complain without having a solution. And the Secret Heart Club is the solution to that complaint that I have of people feeling like maybe not so accepted or maybe rejected or something by others in the church. You can come here and vibe out, and that's that, you know. Allison said, I like your shirt, Ben. It matches your hair color. Looks good. Yeah, look at you. He missed his opportunity to be like, yeah. He missed that opportunity. But, yeah, and then I learned also from that interview, Naomi was raised in the church and was like a church leader kind of coming up, like a youth leader, whatever else she was saying, all the way through high school, and the turning point for her, turning away from Christ, not just because some people you could turn away from the church, some people you turn away from Christ, right? Mm-hmm. The inception of her turning away from the church and Christ was she was baptized as a baby, as a Catholic baby. She was baptized at a month and a half. At 16, she wanted to be baptized in the Presbyterian church, but was told no because she had already been baptized. That was her sentiment. And so she just, and so it's a very interesting, I'm very glad for that, for that interview. And I'm glad to learn about people. Yeah, exactly. Well, that makes no sense. And here's the thing. I have definitely been a part of churches where they won't allow you to get baptized twice. As in, the difference would be that if you were baptized at, say, 16 and you wanted to get baptized at 30, they wouldn't baptize you at 30 because you were already baptized. But what people need to understand in those situations, who are the baptizers, quote unquote, or the people involved with that process, is that sometimes, you declare your allegiance to Christ, and you fall back, and you fall away in such a significant and extreme way that when you return, you literally feel like this baptism is you need a new declaration. Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense, but many churches really don't do that. And so that caused her at 16 to feel very rejected. And for her, again, like the church, small C church, and Christ are like kind of like two different things, but it caused her to start to turn away. And then at 18, when she moved to college, she had a lot of people who were not Christians, and introduced her to people who were very kind and nice and loving, and not like what she was told they would be like. Because she's from Dillon or Dixon, or like we're talking couple thousand people. She grew up in a very small town in Montana, so there just weren't Black people, Native people, gay people, Muslim people. There just weren't different people. And she was told all of these people are bad. But at 18, she discovers, oh, guess what? People, are just people. There's good people, bad people. It doesn't really matter. And so it made her question everything and further reject this. You guys don't want to miss this. Again, it's November 23rd. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I've been chatty. Oop, oop. Yep, Allison said, well, that makes no sense. Allison says, terrible for the church that turned her away. Yeah. And then and then she ended up getting married, I think, I forgot the rest of it, but she got married and her husband was a Christian, and they ended up at one of those churches that segregate men and women. And again, I land with that type of stuff, that like, if that's your church community, I see that, and I know, super hot take, I see value in separating men and women in the church environment. I see value in that. We go to different Bible studies. He goes to the one for men and I go to the one for women. But we come together sometimes. And there's value in all of that, I think. But if it's not done correctly, I could also see how that would be very, very damaging. And that was the final straw for her that led her into being an LGBT advocate. And it's like, this is how people are radicalized. It's pretty crazy. Allison says, okay, well, I'm needing to be rebaptized because my heart wasn't really in it for the first time 12 years ago. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, or not. I think that's a super personal decision, and I personally love like the baptized again stories, because like some of right, like I came to Christ like in my 30s, so I did hey, you know what I mean? I did all the things, so I already know there's nothing really for me to like fall back to, or I already know what like the benefit. Like, let's say I did some cocaine, right? I could if I wanted to, but it's like, and dishonor the Lord like that for a 2-hour high. Like I have that perspective. So it's like, I think I'm less likely, and never say never either, right? I'm less likely to fall away significantly from the Lord than somebody who is a teenager and you still haven't done X, Y, and Z yet. And you see it, or maybe you do it the one time and you're like, wow, I didn't know Z was like that, and then you spend the next 6, 7, 8, 9, the next decade doing Z. That makes sense. And then you come around, you get spit out at, a decade later, and you're like, oh, you know what? I really done did a thing. And I'm sorry, Lord. I would like to rededicate myself to you. That makes sense.
Like the story of the prodigal son.
Hey! Yeah. He was out there, and the Lord welcomed him back. So that's a really good point. It's like, if you want to be rebaptized, but I'm not in charge of nothing. I think it just depends on the church, but churches definitely vary on that stance.
And I've seen like a variety, like my sister, her husband was Greek, so they're all Greek Orthodox.
Oh, that's right.
Orthodox. And they have a certain month at a certain age, like before you're a year old, baptized.
Right.
Which is kind of cool. They got this cool like silver thing that they dip the babies in and everything. These white clothes that they put them in. Yeah, put them in afterwards. Then you have to dump the water on the certain side of the church and incense and everything. So it's a big deal, and those are neat. But the ones that I find more touching is the ones down at the river. The people who are not just being baptized because that's what you do, who actually have probably no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
It's getting to hear people's stories and what brought them to that. It's And I don't have problems with any form of baptism, but the ones I enjoy the most are the people who, and not necessarily at the river. Just that's the one that I attend the most frequently. It's
Right.
a yearly one at the river, but yeah, it's just kind of neat seeing the different types and different reasons, But ultimately, it's kind of not letting somebody get rebaptized. Well, did that person really get baptized in the first place if their heart wasn't in it and they didn't know what was going on? They were just getting a bath,
Yeah.
But yeah, when somebody's ready to give their heart to God and to die to themselves and to be reborn, to work for Jesus, I think, yeah, why hold somebody back from that?
Yeah. Yeah. What would you think if someone got baptized and then fell off and then like a year later wanted to get baptized? What would you say to that person? If it was like your brother or your sister, like a year later, like like they fell off immediately.
How many times did Jesus let you get away with sin? It's like, was there any end to that number? Is there a total number of times that you can do it without being forgiven? Or, like even with baptism, it's like, one thing I have seen at the church I go to, they do the baptisms on the river every year, and several other churches usually come, and there's those people that just do it every year for attention, and that
Really?
once in a while you'll find that person, that guy's been baptized the last 4 years, but you know what?
It's embarrassing a little
They're
bit.
just like, all right, well, he's got to deal with his soul with Jesus, and we'll go ahead and baptize him, and hopefully this is the one that sticks,
Oh
But,
gosh.
there's always, and in churches you always have those people that are there for the show,
Yeah.
But you get people who like the attention of being baptized, and are chronic bathers,
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and my thought on it is, in a way, it used to bug me, but I'm sure there's all sorts of annoying things that I do that bug God every day, and it's like, why am I going to let something like that bug me, when I have this plank in my own eye,
Right,
So I
right.
just, it's my growth with Christ. It's just like, that's their thing. I'll do my best to pray for them or to help guide them any way I can, and if they need that attention, give it to them. But try to follow that up with something healthy.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, I wonder what I do every day that, something I do that I'm sure I could probably be better about is I will laugh very loudly in somebody's face
Yeah.
constantly, you know. And then sometimes people are with it. And then sometimes I think I feel bad when I startle them more than annoy them, you know. It's like, sorry, you're a very quiet person. I didn't mean to, you know. Ooh, whoops. Poppy says, dude, I gotta send you the cutest picture ever. Do it. Do it. Hi, Ansley. And Allison says, Poppy, I want to see this baby. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. That's so funny. Hi, Kenley. Lord Poppy says, I'll do that. Deal. How you want to send it? Email? Snap? Kenley says, if you guys want... Oh, shoot. I think Allison was trying to, send her... Oh, got the... Okay, there we go. Kenley says, hi. Are you going to say hello? Hello. And... Oh, great. Allison and Lord Poppy are great. Allison says, I saw some videos of prison baptisms that were very moving.
That would be pretty neat, yeah.
I don't think I've seen a prison baptism. Something that's been, so another interview I did recently is with Jessica Colton, who is the founder of a nonprofit called Inside Out, and they help justice impacted people with their recovery. But in the interview, Jessica she was just talking about her own recovery and her own prison stints, which I didn't know about her at all, that she was like, she's like a multi-felon, you know, in life, or was. And she was talking about the redemption that can come with being a previous offender, or with being in recovery, and you never know when the time is that the recovered person comes into recovery, like the addict steps into not just wanting recovery but embracing recovery. And so it is with the Lord as well. Like, you're planting these seeds and planting these seeds, and you never know. Oh, I forgot to put mics on us. You never know when the seed is going to take hold. And so it would be with people in prison too. And Jessica was saying she was literally in prison, and they had her segregated in all respects. Like, she couldn't eat with people, she couldn't be whatever in the yard, or whatever the terminology is. They had to completely segregate her because she was so violent toward the correctional officers and other people. So what she had in her cell was a Bible, and I loved it. She pulled up Philippians 4, whatever it was, do all things through prayer and supplication. But she would pray that. She prayed that prayer for 3 months, and started reading her Bible through that prayer, through the context of that prayer. She was released, and then she was rearrested upon her walking out for a crime she didn't commit. And the reason why I believe her that she didn't commit the crime is because she was like, yeah, I committed all the other. I definitely did what they said I did. This time, it was like a mix-up. There was another Jessica Colton in a different state or whatever. So she ended up back incarcerated, and she was asking the Lord, like, what? Like, I gave my life. You promised, like, and so even wrestling with that. And as a result, now she's dedicated her life to loving people, being the Lord's vessel toward justice-impacted people and people in recovery. And that's another thing that she was saying too, is like, you just don't know when the seeds are being planted. You don't know when it's taken hold. And I can say, for me, I'm super judgmental, and I do not say that as like a boast or a brag. I say that with much shame. I also say that in transparency, because I was judgmental in what I thought was like righteously. Like, you are actively choosing to sin by doing these drugs. Shame on you. So whatever, you did this crime, so you deserve whatever punishment. There's no love in that. First of all, we don't know what people's circumstances are that leads them to these specific types of sin, addiction, and whatnot. And we now know too that our environments, our circumstances definitely play a role. So just me personally, I didn't grow up in a household with drugs or alcohol. I just didn't, right? And so I was I went ahead and did it anyway, but I was less likely by my environment. But imagine a kid that's like raised in violence, or raised in crime, or raised in whatever. Don't be like me. Be like Jesus. There should be like a theme song playing right now. But yeah, she was another really good interview that kind of changed the way that I thought. The LGBT one changed the way that I thought, in the way of like, we just not changed, but it was just like, we've got to do better. Like, so. Poppy says, let me tell you, Allison, prisoners are some of the best people you could meet. Oh, I sent it. Will you pass me my computer? Ooh.
else too.
Oh, here's a yes, please. Question for Ben. Do you like babies? Can I answer? Can I say?
Sure.
Ben, let me tell you something. Ben does like babies, but more important, babies like Ben. So we were at church probably like last year this time, and my friend Lacey had a baby. Her baby's Charlie. So chubby, so smiley. And so me and like the ladies right here were like chitty 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 chitty. And I know Ben was like, oh my gosh, like, and he's just standing there. And Lacey's holding Charlie, and he like, you know how you grab the finger, and she takes his finger. I don't know if you remember this, but it's like one of my favorite memories of you. She's just like gazing at him, just gazing. And I was just like, wow. Okay, now you answer.
Well, babies, I used to have a pretty good sized beard. But babies are the reason that this is about all the bigger it gets anymore, is because I don't know what it is. They love just, it's comfort, just keeping their hand in my beard. And I be for hours, and they'll just clench my beard, you know. And now I've had so many wounded hair follicles, my beard doesn't grow anymore. So.
Oh.
But yes.
You did used to have a...
It was at least twice as much.
Yeah. You had like a grizzly... Oh. Oh my gosh, Poppy. I'm looking at Poppy's kids. It's too much. Oh my gosh. Well, we are happy to be a big sibling, I see. A big sibling. Oh. Makes you wanna, looking at you, I'm not looking at you. Makes you want to have a baby, but I don't, makes you not too. There we go. Allison says, my husband is a felon, so I feel you there. Or do you mean those currently in? Oh, Poppy says, dude, really, mine too. Yep, we share that. That's awesome. At the Secret Heart Club. Allison says, my heart just melted looking at your pics, right? I'm starting to drive now, though, so I'll reply when I can. Fong says, YouTube. Yes, YouTube. And Allison says, aw, yeah, it's really, that was a really special moment. Charlie's big now. She's like a year and a half old. She's a plump little nugget. Okay, Bible time. Let me make sure we're on. Oh man, do you want to do like a Bible, another live stream, like another day, like we save these?
Yeah, doesn't matter to me.
Let's do like a. Let me ask you this. So if the next Bible study is going to be Ecclesiastes. If we took my Bible and looked at these Bibles, it's a Greek and Hebrew Bible.
Yeah, it's kind of a mix. Some are the Old Testament. I think the Old Testament is in Hebrew, and then the New Testament is in Aramaic.
That's right.
And Greek. So I have Greek, Hebrew, English. Is that Aramaic? I thought it said Aramaic. Oh, this one actually doesn't have Aramaic. It's just Greek, Hebrew, and English. So the Greek would probably be translated Aramaic.
Do you want to do an Ecclesiastes like deep dive?
Yeah. Well.
Say yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Say yes. All right. We're gonna go, guys. Tomorrow, I'm hoping we'll be back home at 6:30. I think it winds down at 5. I have 2 people driving me, so I don't know if they want to stay for the whole thing. I'm kind of hoping they don't, because I'm on at noon. And then I want to go home, and they're gonna do the awards like right after my my bench, my tournament. So we'll see what they think. I don't want them to like drive me all the way there, and then I'm like, okay, well I did my part, so I'm ready to go home. Kind of like when you have a performance for the performers who might be watching. You don't want to leave right after your own performance. You have to stay and watch people do their thing. Or I don't know how that works in sports too. I say all that to say I don't know where we're gonna be tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So stay tuned. Thank you for being here. Oh, you said is Ben recording me? At the you should.
I could.
Yeah. 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 So, yes. Yeah, I'm tired. I think the wind just kind of came out
The
of me.
sugar
Yeah, the sugar crashed out of me. And we didn't even finish our art cakes. There's still time. All right, guys. We're going to go. I'm 3+Kei. I'm here to encourage you to pursue the smile. Did we talk about Jesus at all? Did we do any kind of
A little bit of baptism.
little bit
stuff,
of
yeah.
okay? I just want to make sure we're staying within the context of the Secret Heart Club. All right. Bye. Talk to you later.
Hey, everybody.
Okay.